Charlie's like, I think, very adverse to like therapy or like, I mean, when we've had fights in the past, and you'll see this a little bit like on the show this season, like he does not, he's like completely, I think, unable to apologize.
Virtual Reality.
Georgia from Next Gen NYC.
Yes.
Danny and I are so excited to chat with you. This show is off to a really great start. How has it been reliving the first? I think we have 3 episodes out right now.
4th one's coming out tonight. I mean, it's trippy because we
Yeah.
filmed a year ago. So, and like I think everyone on the show is in such a different place than we were when we were filming.
Yeah.
So it's definitely trippy, like looking back at like where we were a year ago, and it's so like we're all being very genuine and authentic and like showing where we were in our lives then. So, yeah, it's a time capsule, honestly.
And I feel that's the interesting thing, because obviously this is so many of your first times in the reality TV space, that you do have these moments that like some big, some small, but they're all on camera.
Yeah.
And then you like are like, okay, that happened, and then you remember it and you rewatch it and you're like, okay, that happened, and then that's what that person said about it. Like, how has that experience been for you?
Like hearing what people say in their confessionals and all that.
Oh, yeah.
People were a little saltier than I expected, but especially with the hand washing thing. Like, I didn't know every one of my castmates was looped into that drama and had an opinion. So I was like, okay, Brooks, like saying that's gross, but you know, it's funny though. Also that whole thing was like such an inside joke amongst like everyone on the show and like the crew. Like we were just making like little jokes about it all season, but it's funny.
And how was something like that where you probably thought like is such a nothing turned into such a thing?
You would think, like, especially because like in that episode, like Ariana's sharing the drama with like her mom and like all that stuff, and I thought that was crazy. I was very shocked to see that the hand washing thing was the point of contention from that whole episode.
I know, and it has kind of found its way episodes on episodes. Like we're still talking about it in episode 3. Do you regret saying anything at all, because now you're kind of branded as the girl who doesn't wash her hands?
I don't think I'm branded. Honestly, it's like by the 2nd episode, even though they talked about it, like the comments stopped, you know what I mean? Everyone moved on. It's like, what's next? You know what I mean? But no, I don't regret it all. That was the truth for me, and like, how can I regret saying the truth?
Now, whenever you're in a public bathroom and someone is watching, do you feel like, I have to watch?
I
was gonna say
that is one thing where I'm like, I like shook your hand when we met, and I was like, are they like thinking about this? Because I am now. Like,
It was cool though that even though it was such an issue for Riley, you and Riley got to a better place afterwards. But you're also very close with Charlie.
Yeah.
And currently on the show, she and Charlie, it's not in a good place. How did that ultimately impact the progress you had made with Riley, being so close to Charlie?
It was like, I mean, okay, so we all have our highs and lows with each other on this season, but honestly, it was challenging, like, feeling like I can authentically get to know, like, Ariana and Riley and all of those peeps, because Charlie's was very demanding of me, like, during the show. Like, he was the one who like brought me on the show, and I think he felt very like entitled to like my undying loyalty, no matter what he said or did.
It's like you're the reason.
Yeah, and it was really, really, really it was honestly stressful, because I was, you know, I agree like loyalty is so important in friendships, but at the same time, like I don't agree with everything he says or does, and like this is also a platform where, you know, if there's something you don't agree with, you should make that known, because you don't want it to people to think otherwise. And then also just like trying to get to know Ariana and Riley, I felt like Charlie was sort of very like judgmental of like my friendships with them. And like everyone like kind of comes around and like there's a lot of like getting close and then falling back out, and you'll see that play out over the course of the season. But no, it was honestly like stressful dealing with the pressures Charlie was putting on me.
And are you still I mean, you probably feel less pressure from him because now you have more of a connection with all the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
But is he still kind of in that headspace with you? Like, because like now it's like the fans are watching it, so everyone else is commenting on it. Is he like, have my back on social media, or are you kind of just not in a place to?
We had a falling out a couple months ago. We haven't spoken in months.
You and Charlie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. How was that? Because you guys were close. Like,
it was something like, it was a long time coming. Like you can see Charlie in the show, like he has a lot of wonderful qualities. He's hysterical. He can be very generous at times, but he's also an incredibly challenging person to be close with. And I think like throughout our friendship, I had a soft spot for him, and I let a lot slide that I wouldn't normally with like friends, basically. And you know what occurred behind my back for the last couple months was definitely completely unforgivable. And like I looked for like a grain to see through. Like I always try and like find an angle where it's we can move on from this, and like I didn't. I can't. So yeah, we've had no contact in months, so I have no idea what's going on.
Do you feel though like it's kind of a relief to not have him in your life anymore?
It's hard. I don't know if it's like a relief, because it was still like still upsetting to like have to like move on from a friendship. At times, yes. At times it does feel like there's a weight off my shoulder. At times I'm like, I miss him, you know what I mean? But
do you feel like because you felt a loyalty to him, you weren't super involved in the conversations surrounding the microaggressions with Riley? Like, do you wish you had stepped in a little bit more?
Yes and no. I feel like, so like what happened with the microaggression, I didn't actually see it.
Okay.
So I was seated, like it was like me, Cooper, and then Charlie, so I didn't see any of like the hand gestures that went on, because he did like a finger wag. And I didn't really know what was going on entirely. I thought, but of course I agreed with Riley, like she made very sound points. He was calling her like, what was it, like aggressive or something, and like she's absolutely right. The girl in question was literally older than her, so the only thing you can be talking about is something that's a microaggression. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, also there was like conversations that happened throughout the pool party. Like I spoke to Riley with like Cooper. It didn't go into the edit, but like it was, and then there was a lot of conversations with Charlie, like not film, which is like you gotta.
The switch up though, when he was like, I'm sorry, then I'm not sorry, then I'm actually really not sorry. Was so
that's
that
like
was
he
so
doesn't
insane.
do himself any favors.
I know. It's like just bite the bullet. Just also it's like, I don't know. It's like you could. I don't know.
And then him turning down the psychic really wanted to talk to him, and I think give him some insight.
He was running around the whole pool party like, I need to talk to you.
I wonder what she needed to share with him. He wouldn't let it happen though. I think he was probably scared of what she was gonna say.
I know. I mean, Charlie's like, I think very adverse to like therapy or like, I mean, when we've had fights in the past, and you'll see this a little bit like on the show this season, like he's like completely, I think, unable to apologize. So it wasn't just the Riley situation. Like I've had many, issues with him, and the only way to move on is to just accept that you're not getting an apology, and you like truly. And
it is interesting too, even watching how, because what I do really love about Next Gen is that the fourth wall breaks a lot. So like his comments to the producers and them just being like kind of like clowning him a little bit. Being
Wait,
like,
which part were you?
He was like, don't show all this,
don't show all this stuff, don't show the mess, just make it look cool.
That edit was brutal.
Brutal. And then it reminded me even in the premiere episode where he's like, I'm gonna pretend to pay, but it's not my dad's money. So like I feel he really is like perception obsessed, where he's trying to like make himself be like this guy. And then like did you almost feel like, was he like fooling you at the beginning? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, did you start to get to know the real him, and then you're like,
no, I mean, I always knew the real him. I think I mean, I think with Charlie, like, I mean, it's just interesting to me that he was so image conscious while filming, but then continued to do like controversial things. Like I didn't really understand that. And it's like, if you're so image obsessed and you're being accused like of partaking in microaggressions, like even if like, I don't know, it's bizarre to me. I don't know. But yeah, I think he really thought that he could control the narrative exactly how he wanted in this process, and like that's just not the case.
It was also really interesting to hear that he wasn't really cool with so many housewives kids being involved in this show, which is like a little wild, because that's the reason why you're on a show. I mean, in a sense, like they were carrying it. What was it like getting to know all the housewives kids, and did you have any preconceived notions about who or what they might be like?
I've never seen any of the Housewives at all. Like I've never seen any episode. I like honestly hadn't heard of anyone who was like gonna be on the show. Cause I was friends with like Ava, Amira, and like Charlie going into it. And then I got to know everyone through the process. But yeah, I didn't really have preconceived notions except what I was hearing from Charlie. You know what I mean? So like Charlie was like complaining and like, I took it kind of with a grain of salt. But yeah, I mean, I think there was like this perception coming from Charlie and some other people that like, they're like tacky or whatever. And like, I think Charlie's like an Upper East Side kid. I think he has this, again, like, he just has this image of himself, you know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know, but I mean, honestly, like it was I'm so happy they're like, we're part of this process. They're the best.
And also it is fun too, even though it's a show so focused on New York, like Ariana trying to figure out New York, like her looking at apartments.
Yeah, that was so funny.
I could watch her look at apartments for hours.
Yeah.
And just like
her like walking the dogs in like Soho. It was really, that's like genuine. Like it's overwhelming when you move to the city, and she was hilarious.
It's chaos. And even though you weren't tapped into Housewives, you did tell us you went to a summer house party once.
Yeah. That was so random.
That is so, and like you were, I want to crack this case.
Okay.
One of your friends was dating someone who's on the show?
Yeah, or like, yes. So it was not last summer, I think the summer before.
Okay.
Was
So
that with
whatever.
Chris?
I literally don't
my
remember.
God.
It was my friend. I don't even know if I want to say her
Out that
name,
name.
like whatever.
Yeah.
But she was seeing someone on the cast. She was invited to their like the party they do at the end of each season. Like she was invited, and then I was in the Hamptons that weekend. So then I tagged along. So I don't know if I made an edit, but I might be in the background of a Summer House episode.
I'm obsessed that you have some Bravo history.
Yeah,
Yes.
super random. And I did watch that show a little bit like in college. So it was cool for me to like be at the Summer House, you know?
Oh my God,
That
that's
is
crazy.
cool.
You watched
Yeah.
Summer House in college.
Yeah.
I was like very much out of college.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
serious. I know you were
anyway.
so young.
That's why we're Next Gen.
Yes.
That's right. So, what was the casting process like for this? I mean, you said that Charlie sort of brought you into the show, but I'm sure you dazzled the casting directors in your interviews. It wasn't all because of Charlie.
No, I mean, so Charlie was absolutely like my point of contact into this process, and like I was just gonna be his like kind of like friend on the show. That was absolutely
Well,
like
you have become so much more.
I know, I was not expecting that, but yeah, I was absolutely just gonna be like a side character, like filming once a week, like invited to things here and there, through Charlie, and then I don't know. I guess I just got like drunk very early on, and like
You rubbed a shit.
and they're like, wait, like, do you want to film more? But yeah, no, it was I was Charlie's friend, and they also really liked, they wanted everyone who's a little more like well-rounded on the show. So I do events for a living, and I started this like party company, and there was like
talk about.
Yeah.
You threw a party for Anna Delvey.
Yeah, that was
That's
so
epic.
iconic, yeah.
How did she find, like, because I mean, like, did she just like look up party company and found you, or what's the connection?
So I had I had a few mutuals with her, and I was getting lunch with one of them, and I had just finished watching her Netflix show. I'd never met her, but we had mutuals, and I was getting lunch with one of her friends, and I was like, it like came to me over a bowl of porridge. I was like, what if we told...
As most great ideas do.
Yes,
over porridge.
exactly. What if we turned... She was under house arrest at the time, like banned and all. And I was like, what if we turned her apartment she's under house arrest in, which was like a 1-bedroom in the East Village and like a walk-up, into like the hottest nightclub in New York for one night. And I was like, if we execute this, it's absolutely foolproof. Like, it's foolproof. It's an epic concept. It's bizarre, and if we do it right, like this could really like, you know, be a thing. So I met with her the next week. She was so gung ho about it. She was like, yeah, like let's do it. And then we just got it together. I had like it was so simple. I had like a neon sign made, hired security. It was fully like a residential building, and we had hundreds of people coming in. We had like local news trying to like break in.
Wow.
Everyone had to sign an NDA. It was like Cynthia Rowley was there, Kat Marnell was there. It was like just an epic like mix of people.
How did the neighbors react?
They didn't give a.
Did they come to the
Honestly.
party? Some of the neighbors?
The girls who lived down the hall from her were so excited about the whole thing, and they let Anna use her their apartment as like a green room.
Stop. Oh my
Because
God.
she really just had a 1-bedroom and we stuffed like 100 people in there and a DJ. We had like Frost Children DJ and like Alice Long Yu Gao and like
Wow.
it was
Cynthia
epic.
Rowley was here.
No, right? Like so,
Yeah, that's
Like
so
imagine Cynthia
funny.
Rowley walk up
Right?
5 flights of stairs.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, for Anna Delvey.
For
Yeah,
Anna
that's true.
Delvey, exactly.
And a party
yeah.
planned by Georgia.
Yeah,
You're
she was.
gonna
It was
get your
epic.
steps
Is
in.
Yeah.
that like the biggest event you feel you're through, or have there been other ones on the list?
Under Channel 1, like name brand, yes. I've worked with clients or like part of a larger production to do like huge events. But this like I think under Channel 1, this was definitely the one that I think made the most like waves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was genuinely also the most fun party. Like I was like dancing on the like speakers, like people were taking their tops off. Like it actually was a fun party.
So, how do we get Anna Delvey on Next Gen NYC?
I know, she should come on.
I feel like she
needs
would
to
be
do
an
a
amazing
cameo.
addition.
She's so epic. I love her. She's
Yeah.
hysterical too. She's like very dry humor.
Uh-huh.
I would love.
Do you stay in like semi-touch with her?
A little bit. Yeah. She was yeah, like a little bit. Yeah. I feel like I could maybe ask her. We'll see.
I think that'd be at least a cameo.
At least a
Right?
cameo.
At least a
She's
cameo.
not on house arrest anymore, is she?
No,
I
I
think
think
the ankle's off.
she's
She's,
off
like,
now.
outside,
Yeah,
right?
actually funny. She's like, I didn't even realize that she was living in my old building in like Friday. But yeah, but she was under house arrest in the East Village. I think she was living with, oh my God, who's the PR woman who's
Kelly Catrone.
Kelly Catrone.
Yeah.
She was living, I think, upstate with Kelly Catrone and
Okay.
doing her house arrest there towards the end. And she's like,
I love
off
that you
of-
can do house arrest. Like,
Yeah,
you're like, can I go
right.
to Kelly's house? And honestly, I'm so afraid of Kelly Catrone. I'd be like, whatever you,
It's so
wherever you want to
epic.
go.
Yeah. So,
Have
but
you
she's
met
off
Kelly?
now.
I feel like you two would vibe.
We've done like phone calls.
Okay.
So Anna was doing a fashion show on her roof, like her old house arrest apartment roof. And they were just asking, we just had like a work phone call about that.
Okay.
But we haven't met in person.
You have some homework. You have to watch Kel on Earth.
Oh, it's so
She
good.
had a reality show in like 2010.
Kel on
It was
Earth, yeah, it was on
so-
Bravo forever
Okay,
ago.
really?
It was
Okay.
amazing.
Okay.
Were you a fan of like the city and the hills and all that? You were probably too
No,
young.
She
I
watched
honestly-
Summer House in college.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so-
Don't
that's
think
like
she
my
watched the
generation of Bravo, I have to say.
You would love the city, especially because it's in the city.
Okay.
With like Whitney Port, Kelly Catrone.
Okay.
It's good. Yeah.
Wait, this was on Bravo?
No, this was on
MTV.
MTV.
Okay, cool,
But
cool.
but Kelly had a show on MTV with the city and on Bravo with Kel on
Okay.
Earth, so she was everywhere.
Okay, I'll watch
She's a busy
it.
woman.
Yeah.
Yes, and you are
Content for
too.
me to consume.
And that's why we are so glad that you stopped by to talk to us, Georgia.
Thank
We're excited to watch the rest of
you.
the season.
I know it's gonna be so
Yay,
good.
I'm excited too. We got the screener for tonight's episode. It's cute. I think
Oh
it's
God,
cute.
we're excited.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yay.